Good evening, guys. It's 2/24/2018. If anybody watches my channel, I used to own pet stores, and I did this for about 5 years. I owned 2 pet stores, one in a mall, one in a strip center, and I learned a lot about animal shelters. My pet store used to actually support the animal shelters, but when the ASPCA came in, government doing what private citizens should be doing? Some of the states are trying to get people to force their pets to have licenses, right? Do you realize if you get a license for your pet, that's just like getting a marriage license or a birth certificate or whatever. They actually claim that they own the dog. So that's their loophole in forcing you to vaccinate and all that stuff. You have to fight this. The animal belongs to God the Creator. It doesn't belong to a central banking system that is racketeering on animals. All right, I'm going to tell you a story. I mean, the day before yesterday, I had one of my rental tenants hang himself. I think a lot of the electronic harassment has got something to do with it. And I'm not going to get into the story, but this guy was a witness in 2 cases for me, and I lost a witness. And he was a person that was becoming a friend. And it seems that when you're a targeted individual, you can't have friends. Seriously. It's a very sad thing what happened. I just can't imagine a man with a brand new baby and killing himself. So the next day, I get the ASPCA drive up. And I'm not a big fan. ASPCA is a corporation. The owner makes over $500,000 a year, plus perps. I know for a fact that they grind up dogs, and the dog food is the real business of the ASPCA, and they sell ground up cats and dogs as dog food. And it's a multi-billion, trillion-dollar industry. I don't agree with this practice. I think the dogs should go back into the ground, not sell them as dog food. Sorry to tell you this, but we can make dog food out of natural things. Dogs should be eating meat and natural food. Because if you feed a dog its own self, read the Bible, the genome becomes very weak. I'm not a big fan of vaccines. Anybody that studies vaccines, when I owned the pet stores, that's when we started seeing, when the vaccine started, that's when we started to see animals getting sick. All right, let me try to tell you the story in a nutshell. The officer came in. I said, well, ma'am, I was just playing with my dog in the front yard. And she's like, oh, you don't have him on a leash. I'm playing with my dog, lady. We got 25 acres. Leave me alone. Quit harassing me. Number one, the lady came here, I know for a fact, and I have evidence that she came here from a PSYOP. This is part of the Antifa and all the paid terrorists that are they're playing each other. It's just like when I was arrested, they paid the guy to come on my property. Okay, it's like the girl that was lost in the woods. They pay these people to go get lost in the woods so they can create a crime. They want to create a crime against alternative media. This is election rigging too. Election fraud, because they're trying to take out alternative media, and it's pretty well known. I mean, everybody that does alternative media and is in the truth movement or is a conservative, they're assaulting us, they're attacking us, harassing us, covert harassment, gang stalking. Gang stalking is racketeering. Okay, when you take a person and you want a predator on that person and you want to harass them. Well, you get one of your friends and you pay that friend, and then that person says, okay, well, I'm going to report his dog, which my dog was not breaking any laws. And she says, oh, we got a report. Okay, well, who did the report? Oh, they don't want to tell you. Yeah, well, really? Because it's an inside job. That's why they don't want to tell you. It's an inside job. Because if you tell you, I'd go knock on the neighbor's door and I'd say, listen, I mean, why are you reporting my dog? I mean, not as a confrontation, but I mean, but I know the person that's reporting the dog. It's an inside job, and it's racketeering. You can't do that. It's against the law. And I am going to sue the ASPCA for this. If they don't stop harassing me, I'm going to sue them. So she comes in with her licenses and her tags and her trying to force vaccines on my dogs. I said, ma'am, it's against my religion. I vaccinated my dog when it was young, and it has an incredible immune system. It's very intelligent, very healthy. Leave me alone. Okay? I have beautiful animals, gorgeous animals, happy animals. And they want to stick their thimerosal and their mercury and their lead and all their poisons in it so that they can profit from you. And I'm not buying into this shit, guys. It's just bullshit. So anyway, long story short, she actually brought a dog in the kennel, and the dog must have been at rut, or they must have sprayed pheromones. This has happened before. And it makes your other dogs go crazy. So my dog was kind of going crazy trying to get to the dog in the kennel. And I said, well, ma'am, you need to stay here. Let me go put my dog up. And then she just kept harassing me. Oh, you need to do this. You kept asking me questions. I'm like, ma'am, could you please leave? If you're going to write the ticket, leave. Leave me alone. You're a corporation. That's all you are. I'm an officer of the law. I said, really? I said, and then she says, well, I know who you are. I said, you don't think I don't know that you know who I am? Because you're racketeering me. You're harassing me. It's called gang stalking, gaslighting. And you're costing me money for no reason. If every single dog in St. Tammany Parish has a license, I'd be surprised. I guarantee you they don't. So you can't pick on targeted individuals. Make a long story short, I have a video of the lady lassoing my dog. It was walking out the drive. She wouldn't wait till I put my dogs up. She was driving really slow. She opened the door of her truck. She lassoed the dog. She was dragging the dog, choking it to death, to drag it off of my private property and then get it onto the road so that she can arrest the dog. I mean, and you say the ASPCA is trying to help? Poor little animals. The lady was choking my dog, animal abuse, dragging it with a vehicle, almost ran over the thing, and then she looked like she was trying to sedate the dog, which the dog didn't need to be sedated. It was a very calm dog. I mean, or she was trying to stick some poison in the damn dog. I mean, these people are insane. And I am so sick of being harassed by this Antifa, George Soros paid terrorist. Aren't you sick of this stuff? I mean, we're being harassed on every front, and we're not giving up, guys. We're going to stay in the fight. They want us to give up. That's the last thing we're going to do. Okay? They threaten us with arrests and false accusations, and, take down our YouTube channels. We just got to keep going on, guys. I've actually talked to a few police officers that are fed up with this shit. We have the right to freedom of speech and constitutional rights. You can't let a corporation come in and dictate, oh, you have to vaccinate your dog, you have to vaccinate your kid, you have to do this, you have to do... No, you don't. You can't make a law above constitutional law. You can't. And a corporation... That's like ASPC is a corporation. That's like Home Depot coming in, lassoing my dog and dragging it by the neck and out to the road so that they can claim that they have jurisdiction over it. I asked the lady, I said, how do you have jurisdiction over my dog, ma'am? Okay, it doesn't have a title, doesn't have a birth certificate. How do you have jurisdiction? She couldn't answer me. I said, well, please leave. You don't have jurisdiction over my dog. She couldn't tell me how she had jurisdiction. In order to have jurisdiction, you have to say that that's your dog. All dogs in the world, all dogs in our parish belong to you. That's not true. How can that be? You own them? I don't care what loopholes and laws they make, the Maritime Admiralty law. It's got nothing. You can't create a law above common law. You can't. You can't create a law above God's law. Let me tell you who owns a dog. God does. And I'm just a partner and a friend to the dog. Okay? That's it. The dog's free. It's simple as that. God owns that dog. God created the dog. You cannot take something that God created. They're doing that to us with our birth certificates and our driver's license. They're claiming that the spiritual person is dead, and you. The spiritual person is dead, and you're property of theirs. You're property of Rome. So we've got to stand up to this. I've done some videos about, see this letter P